Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over how the new update pretty much backfired in a lot of aspects, and there are definitely some things that they just overlooked, and as you might have seen in yesterday's video, there are definitely some catastrophic bugs that were added that, to my knowledge, will not be fixed anytime soon. Speaking of yesterday's video, thank you guys so much for all the support on that and on the Update 4.1 video. If you don't know what Update 4.1 did, I will link it in a card and in the description just so you're up to date on what I'm actually talking about. And as always, like the video, consider subscribing to the channel. I post regularly and I have a very active Discord. Link is in the description. Anyway, so let's just start off with the most obvious things that I think backfired with this update. The biggest change is probably being the removal of breakthrough 128 players. Now, this is kind of controversial because I understand that some people do enjoy it and other people do not enjoy it, but I definitely think that some of the Breakthrough 64 player redesigns or just some of the maps that they make us play on now are just not good. For instance, the first sector on Kaleidoscope is quite literally an open field where you're running at enemies on head glitches. And I tried playing this earlier, and it's just dreadful. You know, if you played it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That very first sector on attackers, it's almost impossible to get through if your team decides to basically stop playing the game. And in my opinion, the normal Breakthrough 128 Kaleidoscope layout was better, simply because there was that far right side you can go to and you can actually move around. Now, in general, I'd say that the removal of 128 players Breakthrough is, in my opinion, a sign of defeat, basically an admission of defeat, and in my opinion, it's lazy because they removed it before attempting to make real changes to the mode, and in my opinion, a lot of what's wrong with Breakthrough 128 players was obviously the vehicles, some of the point designs, some of the cover available on the maps, and most importantly, and I don't hear this mentioned a lot, the out-of-bounds areas on these maps. For instance, on, again, Kaleidoscope, we'll just use this as a constant example. You can literally go like 150 meters to the left or behind some objectives for absolutely no reason. And a lot of the time what happens is there's just random people proning there, there's random vehicles out there, and it makes it really annoying to actually know exactly where to be worried about. And this sort of phenomenon is present on a ton of these maps. It's not just Kaleidoscope. Pretty much all of the Breakthrough layouts have a sector or multiple sectors with this issue, and I think tightening up the out-of-bounds areas on these maps would really help, would really start funneling the action, and I think it would just be a vast improvement, but we're not going to be able to see that now because they have removed the mode. Another thing that this update just completely backfired on is the bugs that it introduced. The Government 4570, for those that don't know, for those that missed yesterday's video, is bugged and now one-shots you in the chest within 20 meters. Thankfully, before I produced that video basically exposing the fact that it was bugged, I actually DM'd multiple developers, and I can confirm to you personally that DICE does know about this bug, and it is known. And it will be fixed, I assume, maybe in a later patch. Maybe it won't even be in the patch notes, but they do know about it, because I told them personally. But jumping to one of the most obvious things that this update actually did cause, and to DICE's credit, they have already fixed this as of yesterday, but this update added unplayable stuttering, and there are actually reports of people on Twitter saying that they were still getting massive stutters on their Xboxes now even, but they did hotfix the stuttering that this update introduced, which I was actually shocked to see. I think the only reason they could have hotfixed this stuttering is because, to my knowledge, it was a PC-only issue, and I don't think a hotfix that is for PC only has to be approved by, like, Xbox or PlayStation, because I've heard where if there's a hotfix that needs to be pushed, and it's a hotfix for something on all platforms, that will delay their ability to actually hotfix it, because it has to go through these, like, weird update approval things that both consoles have. And I do not believe PC has those same review restrictions on any sort of hot fixes. And the last and final thing I want to mention is the changing of the bolt from a transport vehicle to an armored vehicle. Now, I know you guys have probably not seen any bolts since this update, and that's good. I agree with that. But what I don't agree with is just the laziness that comes with changing it from a transport vehicle to a armored vehicle, because this does not come with no downsides. The way it is now, because the Bolt is an armored vehicle, a tank spawn can be taken by a bolt player, which is really bad because on some maps you only get one tank. So what if some jackass spawns in a bolt and drives it into, like, I don't know, basically what if someone just wastes the vehicle spawn? That's just a really bad oversight in my opinion, and I think they should have left it as a transport vehicle, reduced the number available, and addressed the weaponry on the bolts yet again. In my opinion, they should have just removed the 30mm cannon. The only weapon the bolt should have is the minigun, and if you want to make further minigun changes, go right ahead, but it's certainly not as annoying as the 30mm cannon is. And I definitely think there's a solution where a bolt doesn't take up a tank or an AA spawn. But all in all, I really have mixed feelings about this update. It looked a lot better on paper than it actually plays out in game, and I really don't like that. So let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think? What is your experience with specifically the breakthrough modes is what I'm most interested in hearing about, what you guys think. Because in my opinion, some of those 64-player modes where you're playing on 128-player maps, it's just a barren wasteland of nothingness, man. And it's just totally foreseeable as well. So enjoy the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join the Discord, the link is in the description, and I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders, link is in the description as well, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Down one of them. Need a second to reload.
Invincible.
The coordinate plane was developed centuries ago and refined by the French mathematician René Descartes. In his honor, the system is sometimes called the Cartesian coordinate system. The coordinate plane can be used to plot points and graph lines. This system allows us to describe
Grenade, get down! Woo!